Invest in Ethiopia, one of the fastest growing economies.
It is needless to say that country's resource, be it for any kind, is important in its economic advancement. Nonetheless, if nations' resources are not tapped in an efficient manner and are squandered aimlessly, the economic damage as a result may be catastrophic. For a country like Ethiopia, with a much greater share of an agrarian society, and with abundant cattle resources, the possible economic advantage that could be accrued is obviously expected to be great. Nonetheless, the much expected advantage that could be accrued from these abundant resources has for long remained short. So many reasons could be attributed for this, but one most culpable reason that stands notable in this case is the outdated cattle rearing and breeding exercises. This way of breeding and rearing has made grazing the most important mechanism of feeding cattle. This traditional way of doing things has made cattle not to be able to give the average, if not the maximum amount of produces they ought to give. In this regard, in order to acquire milk and milk products from cattle, a proper feeding mechanism should be adopted, and feeding and proper dietary programs be kept. In recent times, a modern way of fattening cattle and production of dairies has been adopted, from which many engaged in this line of work have become beneficiaries. Expert of fodder at the Ethiopian Meat and Dairy Institute talks about the recent change witnessed in this regard as remarkable and attributed it to the very concern given to the sector.
በክልል ደረጃ የምርምር ማዕከላት መመስረታቸው ይሄን ኤሪያ ደግሞ የሚደግፉ ሊያሻሽሉ የሚችሉ ደግሞ ከፍተኛ ተቋማቶች መመስረታቸው መከፈታቸው
With the emergence of research institutes in the various regional states and higher institutes that could give the necessary research and technical support in trying to improve the sector, along with the strengthened efforts of the Federal Agriculture Bureau, we are now witnessing such a remarkable change in the sector. We have witnessed a tremendous progress in the past 15 years. The country is now earning around $600 million from export of meat and live animals as a result.
However, the expert lamented there is a whole lot to do in actually accruing the maximum benefit there is, considering its immense cattle wealth.
Considering the amount and variety of animals the country has, it is not gaining the optimum benefit.
The experts season out that shortage of fodder is one of the most important hindrances in trying to optimize the benefit from the sector.
There are several reasons for the untapped potential in the sector, and animals fodder takes a big share. Fodder takes more than 60% of the cost of animals farming. At the national level, we have 76 million tons of animals feed from fields, factory byproducts, and the link. The demand is 95 million. So our animals need an additional 90 million tons of fodder every year. There is a lot to be done in this particular area if we have to optimize productivity of our animal resource.
There are now a number of emerging chicken and dairy producers and many more investors engaged in bull fattening. Those investors require a huge amount of fodder since the animals need to have sufficient depth. So, what is being done in this regard, one might ask. Nowadays, cognizant of this problem and the opportunities it abound, people are seen engaged in the production of animal fodder. Alemma Cow Dice has been producing animals fodder for the past 4 years.
አለማ ፋርምስ በዶሮ እርባታ ነው የጀመርነው ማንኛውም እርባታ ከፍተኛ ዋጋ ያለው ለመኖ ነው
Alemma Farms first started with a chicken farm. Any kind of animal farm requires option of a base feeding mechanism. Chicken, cattle, goat or sheep, all of them require proper feeding. We started with a small farm preparing the feed with hand and handheld tools. Then we started mixing fodder using manually operating machines. It took us 20 years before making use this technology that we have now.
Alemma Cow Dice, which operates with a total capital of 74 million Ethiopian birr, has now a potential of producing more than 15,000 quintals of fodder per month. Lemma says the factory becomes the first of its kind in Ethiopia, producing cooked fodder suitable for feeding.
ትልቅ ስራ አሁን የሰራ ነው በዚህ በመኖ ዙሪያ ፔሌታይዝ ማድረግ
Our biggest achievement so far is pelletizing fodder. We supply standard cooked fodder. This is the first of its kind in Ethiopia. We are registering such a remarkable achievement.
Let us go through the process of modern kind of fodder.
የተለያዩ አይነት መኖችን እንደ ትዛዛቸውና እንደሚፈልገው መጠን
We produce different kinds of animal feeds based on the required type and quantity following their formula. We employ a formula to acquire a balanced diet, mixing vitamins and minerals necessary for the animals. We put raw materials in the processing line and pursue the production based on the formula to acquire the required fodder.
The factory is operating with more than 90 employees working permanently. Some of the employees talk about the opportunity availed by the factory, not only obvious job opportunity, but the experience they accumulated through the years as employees by working with others and through the various training opportunities they acquired.
እኔ በአሰላ ቴክኒክና ሙያ የጀነራል ሜካኒክ 10+3 ዲፕሎማ ቴክኒሻን ነው ያለኝ
I graduated in General Mechanics 10+3 from Asala Technical and Vocational Training Center. I have been working here since its foundation. I took training on how to operate the machines in South Africa. I also took part during the installation of the machineries. There are 3 employees working with me. We work together as a production team and discuss on how to enhance our production capability and ensure the proper use of machineries.
አስራሁለተኛ ክፍል አጠናቅቄ ነበር ስላልነበረኝም ከዛ ወደዚህ ድርጅት ገባው
I was a high school graduate unemployed. After I came here, I have been able to understand many things through the work process and training. Here there are professionals with the required knowledge. We work together. They are graduates in this particular field of study. As we work with them, we have been learning so many things from them.
Alpha Fodder Dairy Farm is located around Bishoftu town. The farm currently employs more than 30 Ethiopians who take care of the some 800 milk cows in the barn. Helen Stem and her husband Peter have been here working on the dairy for the past 4.5 years.
By coming as Dutch dairy experts to Ethiopia, we hope to provide the necessary information to the dairy sector, which they can use to develop. We are working with the modern material, with the modern equipment. Our main purpose of doing business in Ethiopia is to have a self-sustainable farm, being a sample for the local community.
Helen and her husband are working to develop the local variety of breed with the hybrid they brought from Holland. But this, according to Helen, might take a long time until the hybrids adopt themselves with the climatic conditions here.
As we have seen the local breed, which is sometimes the good, sometimes the poor quality, for future we have the aim just to crossbreed the Holstein Friesian breed, which we imported to Ethiopia, with the local breed. To be sure about that, we first need time. The Holstein breed, it perfectly adapted the Ethiopian climate, the Ethiopian weather, the situation and the like. But for future, for sure, we have the aim to provide the local farmers just the crossbreed possibility.
Developing cattle varieties play a significant role to increase milk production or fattening and the like. Even then, cattle need the best feeding to give out the best in them. Chicken could develop in shorter period of time if they get the needed feeding.
መኖ ማለት ለእንስሳቱ መንቀሳቀሻ የሚረዳ ነው። መኖ ማለት ኃይል የሚሰጥ ነው። እርሻ የሚታረሰው እንስሳቱ ኃይል ከመኖ ነው የሚያገኙት።
Fodder mean energy that farmers use to plow fields with their oxen and travel with their horses and donkeys. It means the milk that we drink. It is the egg and meat that we eat.
ብዙ ጊዜ እንስሶቹ የሚፈልጉትን ሳይሆን እኛ በአቅራቢያችን የሚገኘውን ጥሬ ዕቃ ነው ብዙ ጊዜ እንደ ግብዓትነት ወይም ለነሱ
As we all know, Ethiopia didn't have a problem with its cattle population. The problem is quality feed. We usually feed our cattle the resource we found nearby, not considering what they really needed. Here we use 18 or 19 kinds of raw materials.
Feeding the cows, I think it is 90% of having the milk yield secured. We mix the feed fresh for the cows every morning to be sure about the quality and the freshness so that the cows, they might like it.
إننا منون بزو سوتش يمندنا يمرداتو انتن يلون.
Many people didn't understand the importance of this kind of fodder. We usually seek more milk from the cattle while feeding them a little. You cannot expect 10 liters while you feed a kilo. You have to give a lot to expect a lot. That is what we are teaching the local farmers here.
The Ethiopian Meat and Dairy Technology Institute has been striving towards awareness creation among farmers and assists investments in the production of animals feed.
እንደ ዓላማ ይዞ የተነሳው በዚህ ኤሪያ ላይ በዚህ መስክ ላይ ተሰማሩ በመኖ ማቀነባበር
Since its establishment, the institute has aimed in assisting investments in the production of fodder, dairy and meat. Our link with the team is through training and consultancy, and also we support those who are engaged in fodder production. In another way, we create market link among fodder producers and farms. We also conduct research whenever there is a problem.
During our stay in Bishoftu town, we've been able to earmark the market link and cooperation among the fodder producers and farm owners. Jan Kujensen works with Alema cow dice. He told us about the market link that is created between them and their potential customers.
We produce feed up to the requirements of those who are farming. That is very necessary to get the best results. And if the farm has the best results, we also have best results in our feed sales. So therefore it's good to work together. We as a feed producer and those who are farming, who are using our products, so that when they work they get the best benefit from their investment and from their labor.
እዛጋ ፋርሚንጉ ሲጠናከር ነው እዚህ ጋር እኛ መኖ ማምረት የምንችለው። ስለዚህ የተያያዥነት ያለው ጉዳይ ስለሆነ እርባታዎች በየቦታው በጥሩ ሁኔታ እንዲያብቡ
We only can produce fodder as long as there are organized farms in the country. It's interlinked. we are really demand the existence of farms. When there are organized farms, then we will have a better market. That's why we are working hand and glove with farms.
The subsector needs more attention. Producing the fodder only cannot generate the intended demand in the sector and of course the intended benefit thereof unless the required attitudinal change with regard to animals' feed is effected. Lemma Asfau, owner and manager of Alemma Cow Dice, says in Ethiopia the trend of animals feeding need to be given due emphasis. Accordingly, he said awareness creation concerning the priority that has to be given to developing breed and proper feeding should be warranted.
አሁን ያሉት እንስሳት ብሪዶቻቸው የብሪድ የማስተካከልና መኗቸውን ደግሞ የማስተካከል ጉዳይ ከመጣ
When we come to developing cattle, breed and providing concentrated feed, for instance, 2 or 3 liters of milk for 10 undeveloped cattle breed is nothing more than to developed breeds that can give 20 liters each. Second, raw materials useful for fodder need to be produced in a large quantity.
ድሮ ከብትን የትም ወስደህ ትለቃለህ። አሁን ግን መልቀቅ አትችልም።
Previously, anyone can graze their cattle on pastures, but there is a shortage of land for pasture now. So, we have to use fixed place and feed our cattle with a concentrated fodder.
We visited the shop providing services for consumers. I talked to Biniam, a chicken farmer in Bishoftu town, about why he preferred to use concentrated fodder. And here is what he says.
የማይሆን ነገር ለረጅም ጊዜ ከምትመግብ ለሚሆነውን ነገር properly feed አድርገህ
It's better to provide the proper feed for a short period of time than feeding poor diet for a long time. Even though the price is higher, it's so important to use the fodder. In fact, it's expensive. That's because it's treated with ingredients. It consists of everything important for the animals.
Now, many are taking in the required knowledge and understanding about the importance of proper feeding. The gap is now between the supply and the unlimited demand in the provision of fodder. This indicates the existence of unlimited opportunity for investments in the sector.
ብዙ አገሮች አሁን ብታይ ለምሳሌ አኩሪ አተር በጣም ወሳኝ ነው ለማንኛውም መኖ ሌሎች ጥሬ ዕቃዎች ለምሳሌ ኢቨን በቆሎ ሁሉ ሳይቀር ከውጭ ያስገብቶ መኖ የሚያመርቱ አገሮች አሉ።
In different countries, factories need to import raw materials like soybean and even maize from other places. But in Ethiopia we have them all in one. All we need to do is developing their variety and increasing yield in the future. We find maize, soybean, all byproducts in the lake all around us. We get almost 95% of raw materials in the local market, except vitamins and minerals that are not available in the local market.
Investing in Ethiopia in dairy farming, it has not been popular so far. As you might see, you have a huge investment before you are able to milk the cows. For 2 years, on average, you need to grow them and to take care of them, to feed them and everything before they are able to give milk. So your investment to be invested, it is a lot. But what you can see in dairy farming, milk is the white gold. So for sure you will have your value after you milked your cows. What we have seen so far, there are too many milk processors, but they don't have milk available. So what I want to encourage new investors with is like, try to make sure there is a huge demand of dairy farms in Ethiopia. Even we would like new investors to visit our farm to see what we are doing here, because we are a sample farm.
እንግዲህ ከዚህ ድርጅት ብዙ ነገር ይማራሉ ብዬ አስባለሁ።
There is a great lesson that Ethiopian investors could draw from this farm. The country has suitable topography and everything is conducive, the weather and everything. As there are only few investments in the sector, new investors would have a great opportunity.
አገሪቷም እንግዲህ አንድ የግሉን ባለሀብት በዚህ መስክ ላይ እንዲሰማሩ እንደ ፖሊሲም ቀርጻ እየተንቀሳቀሰች ነው ያለችው።
The country has been offering the opportunity for investors through putting in place the right policy. This institute has also been working with other stakeholders in supporting the government's policy. There are investors showing interest to invest in this sector and some are already engaged in it. The main challenge, however, is absence of vitamins, amino acids and the link in the local market. The government or else investors have to import them with high foreign currency that keeps the price of processed fodder higher.